Lesson 13 Neighbor Part 1 Have you lived in your current living area for a long time? I have been living in my current residential area since I was born. Now I am a sophomore at university, which is about 70 kilometers from my home, so I have to live away from home because my university is too far. What do you like about your current living area? Firstly, there are many amenities near my current living area, such as hospital, school, park, and so on. It is very convenient for me because I can easily buy and use anything I need in just a few minutes. In the top of that, I like the cinema near my house, near my house, because sometimes when I come back from the city, I can gather to go to the movies with my friends to with my friends without having to go far. What would you like to change about your area? My neighborhood is quite dirty because of the lack of trash cans, so people often have their trash on the sidewalk. I hope there will be more trash cans on the sidewalk to reduce pollution. Besides, recently there have been bar- a few burglaries in my house, so I wish the police had to tighten the street security more. What are some trends in your area recently? Well, there are cinema and park near is built in the proximity of my house of my house. Sometimes when I come back from the city, I can gather to go to the movies with my friends without having to having to go far. Moreover, I can get around in the park every afternoon and do physical exercise to get lean. Where do you live? Where do you like to go in that area? My own time favorite place is the cinema. It is within walking distance of my house. Sometimes when I come back from city, I can gather to go to the movies and sip a cup of tea with my friend to have eye chat with somebody after a long time not seeing each other. How well do you know the people who live next door to you? Um, when I stay at my house, my neighbors are all very friendly and kind. They are always willing to help me when I have a problem. But now I'm staying in Hanoi because I have to study at university. To be honest, I don't know anything about my neighbor because we never talk to each other. Indeed, we just treat each other like strangers. How often do you see them? Indeed, I see my neighbors a few times a week. We usually see each other when we are leaving for work or study, or work in the morning or coming home in the evening because we go to work we go to work or school at the same office hours. But when I stay at my home, I see my neighbor every day and talk to them every time we see each other. They are very friendly and funny. What kinds of problem do people sometimes have with their neighbors? I think the biggest dilemma is perhaps noise. My neighbor have only one children. However, he is very naughty. The noise they make it sometimes really furious. Besides, my neighbors often throw garbage on the sidewalk and the smell is very unpleasant. Sometimes my neighbors are a bit too talkative. How do you think neighbors can have each other? I believe that neighbors will be enthusiastic to help whenever you have problems. When I lived with my parents in my hometown, my neighbors were really nice. They are supportive when we need. They are also friendly and funny. The older saying, sell distant brother, buy close neighbor. Not wrong. Do people living in small cities know more about their neighbors than people living in big cities? Yes, actually, the chance that people get to know each other and in small city and higher than those in big cities because they live close together and have more time to the neighbors to make friends. In contrast, in contrast, in the big city, they get caught up in the whirlpool of work, so they are constantly up to their ears in work or study, so they really rarely pay attention to neighbors around. When they meet, they only greet each other politely, not as close as people living in small cities. Why do people rarely talk to each other? I think there's some reason for this problem. Firstly, nowadays people tend to focus their time on using digital devices such as laptop, mobile phone, and so on, rather than hanging out with people. For example, when they have free time, they often surf the internet to watch video or read newspaper and so on. Secondly, in modern life, they get caught up in the whirlpool of work. They are always busy with their work to earn a lot of money to improve the quality of life. So, so they don't have they, so they don't have much time to talk with each other. How could how could we improve the relationship among people? I think that tự nhá. I think that to strengthen the relationship among neighbor, people need to spend more time for neighbor. As a result, they can spend some time to open their hearts with their neighbors. From there, we can communicate more to get to know them more. Moreover, if they want to strike up a relationship with their neighbor, they have plucked up the courage and speak first. From then on, there will be no distance between them and they will become close. That's all.